So what you've got around here is a genome, and what you're seeing in these little entries here are single point mutations. So I'm the head of Bioinformatics here at the Centenary Institute. My name is Will Ritchie, and I've been working here for about 5 years. My role here is to make sure that everybody gets enough bioinformatics support and to do bioinformatics research as well. Bioinformatics is also called computational biology, and it's actually looking at the mathematics and all the computational aspects behind biology. Because we've been able to look at many genes at the same time, there are many mathematical models that have arisen that can explain certain diseases, and some of the experiments actually take up a lot of data space, and so we need people to manage the data and to mine the data, and that's what a bioinformatician or a computational biologist does. Bioinformatics is actually now making things possible. We're now generating so much data that in fact stocking it and looking at it is impossible with just an experimental assay. We really need a computer to go through the data and to tell us where we need to look. And if we don't have computers, this research all simply isn't possible. So it's not a matter of just making research go faster, it's actually making this new type of research possible. So it really is making science go faster because computers can learn from mistakes. They can also look through data with an unbiased eye and say, well, these are the possibilities that have never been explored and that we should be looking at. And for example, when we're looking at the leukemia samples that we're interested in, there are genes that we would never have discovered in 100 years, and the computer, after 30 seconds, came up with a model that explained it with 3 or 4 genes and said, this is what you have to look at. And this was so quick, I only took half an hour to code and then to find the answers. And when I took it to the lab, they said, we've been looking at this for hundreds of years. The money we got from the fundraising is really important for bioinformatics because it's very hard to fund in Australia bioinformatics because it's very novel and Australia is very late in coming into this field. So getting funding for pure bioinformatics is difficult. So that money for us is really a godsend. So what we did with that is, number one, we bought a mini supercomputer. So now we have on level 1 a supercomputer that allows us to look at hundreds of samples at the same time. And there are many teams at Centenary that are now going up a level and now looking at better experiments, next generation sequencing experiments we call them, and we couldn't support them before. We just didn't have the computer power to do it, and now we do. We bought a supercomputer with the money. Yeah, well, I definitely encourage people to come along, and we really are looking forward to your support.